On this week's Take a Look, Hollywood just unleashed He-Man. Action figures, lunchboxes, one of the most iconic cartoons of the 80s, Masters of the Universe is back, and it's huge.
Mr. Allen!
It's Adam, dude.
Meet the new stars of Eternia, Nicholas Galitzine, Camila Mendez, Alison Brie, Idris Elba, and director Travis Knight.
Big army only means one thing. More targets.
We'll have the secrets behind bringing Castle Grayskull to life. And yes, somebody actually yells, "I have the power!" I have the power! Honestly, Skeletor still looks like everybody yelling at customer service.
But you're too scared to use it. Trust me, I know how to use it.
It's a Masters of the Universe takeover. Let's take a look! That's right, it's our Masters of the Universe half-hour special, and look at me! I've gone evil! Actually, I'm conflicted. I've got a He-Man sword, technically not even a He-Man sword. And by the way, that's metal. I shouldn't be slapping this around. It's not plastic. I am in the Bone Throne. Technically, that's what the fans call it. I know it's probably called the... Let's just call it the Bone Throne. Regardless, the movie is amazing. It's heartwarming, it's hysterical, and dare I say, one more time, hysterical. That's what surprised me the most. It's directed by Travis Knight. You might know him as the son of Phil Knight, or maybe because he's already a prolific director, creating an empire of his own, especially with this movie. We talked. All right, let's jump right in. This movie would not be happening, my opinion, but many others, without this guy. Thank you so much for bringing it.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
So I've been to every film festival for the bulk of my life, seeing Academy Award-winning filmmakers introduce their film. I have never seen any filmmaker engage the audience and wrap up what they're about to see and have people leaning in like you did before frame one even rolled.
Oh my God! Wow, that's nice of you to say. Yeah, look, you want to set the tone for what people are about to see, and to me, it's a real privilege to be able to speak to the audience, because generally you don't have a chance to speak to the audience. You know, the work speaks for itself.
Sure.
But it was last night at the premiere. It was an opportunity for us to connect with the people who with what they're about to see, and I'm glad you enjoyed it, because it was fun to chat with them.
And you've got diehard fans in there, right? And then other movie critics that are like less than human, but then also the plus ones that might not even care less about it. And like within the first act, you could tell everybody was invested. What was it like seeing this movie play like a live action, like you were at a WWE event?
Well, look, it's one of the things that I love about the cinema. You know, I've been a cinephile my entire life. My parents were cinephiles. You know, they would go to the movies all the time, and they would drag me along with them, no matter how inappropriate it was. And one of the things I love about going to the movies is that it is a communal experience, that we're all collectively, people who don't know each other, sitting, having the same experience, focus on the same thing at the same time, feeling the same emotions. It's like going to a concert or going to, a sporting event, and like we're all going through it together. And that's what it was so special about, seeing something on the big screen. And we made this film for that experience. And so to be in the cinema last night and to hear people laugh and see them cry and hear them cheer and applaud, it's a really moving experience for me.
Yeah, and also heart-filled, moving experiences. I'm glad you brought up your parents, because Father's Day is on the way. This movie explores a couple of father-son relationships
yes.
might be complicated at best. Your dad built an empire out of the trunk of his car.
He did.
A shoe empire, and sporting apparel as well. You have created, you single-handedly, in my opinion, have salvaged for the next generation stop-go animation and flipped that into an amazing live-action career. What advice would you give, or have you gotten?
Oh, from fathers to sons?
Yeah.
Look, I think one of the most meaningful bits of advice that my father gave me, which is advice that he got from his coach when he was a young boy, is to find a calling, is to find that thing that you feel that you were put on this earth to do, and go for it with everything that you have. And for every one of us, it's different. But for me, I found it early on in my life. It was animation. It was something that I loved deeply, which is a strange thing to say. It's a strange thing to tell people that you have a deep and abiding affection to play with dolls for a living. But I did. But then the path takes you weird ways, and to find myself here. And now I'm effectively playing with dolls again, but on a big scale.
Sure.
with He-Man. I really do think it's a blessing to be able to find that thing that you felt like you were meant to do, and to give it everything you have.
Do you have a moment in this? Like, I mean, you've probably seen every pixel of this a billion times,
I
but
have.
is there a moment that still brings you more joy? Maybe even it started on the day in Video Village. You said, that's it.
It's, you know, to me, like the whole movie really is a joy. It's a miracle that it even exists. We had so much fun making this movie, and I can see the joy. I remember all the experiences that we went through on the day, and then I can also have a sense of detachment and look at this movie as it is. There are a handful of moments that are really meaningful for me. I think one that's most meaningful is when Adam transforms into He-Man for the first time. And I will never forget the day that happened when Nick said that incredible incantation bellowing at the top of his lungs. You could have heard a pin drop on the set. Everyone was just sitting there with bated breath watching him do the thing. And it was really, really moving for me because, you know, I love these characters growing up, and to see it happen for real right in front of my eyes, it was a wonderful experience.
And what magic to see that exact feeling that on the day on the set you saw captured is the exact same way audiences react when it plays back.
It was like when people react strongly to that, it is incredibly rewarding. It's you know, we make these movies to connect with people, and when that is effective, when that works, it's the greatest thing that we do.
And oh, it does. From a magical filmmaker to an evil sorceress, Allison joins us next. Thank you so much. Congratulations in advance.
Cheers, I appreciate that.
Why did you send me away?
I wanted you to be safe. So I sent you to a place I knew that they'd never find you. There's
This obsession with nerd stuff and sword things, it's not a good look for human resources.
I know it sounds crazy, but that sword is gonna show me the way home.
Sir, you can't do that.
Don't worry, the sword's mine.
Hey, welcome back. It is our half-hour special dedicated to all things Masters of the Universe. Where would we be without Skeletor's other half, Evil Lynn? Allison Brie, good to see you.
Good to see you.
I want to rephrase that. You're not the other half. I honestly think you're not the right hand. I think he would be nothing without you. You're propping him up.
Thank you. She is the brains behind the operation for sure. Skeletor is so volatile. He's too emotional. You know, it's 1 second he's happy, 1 second he's having a tantrum. It's like Evelyn's really there to keep him in check.
Which do you think is harder for your character? Keeping the sorcery focused or just not pushing him off a ledge every 5 minutes?
The second one, for sure.
Yeah?
I think she's very annoyed with Skeletor all the time and is sort of bound to him in their evilness.
All right, let's talk about you in the real life in connection to this universe. Like, where did it hit you? This is pre-childhood for you.
It's childhood for me. You're right, it is pre-childhood for me, but I have memories of watching the original cartoon. And I didn't even realize how deep the nostalgia was until I was watching this movie. And, you know, there's a point in the film where the original He-Man theme song kicks in, and I had chills. I had tears in my eyes, and I thought, oh, I didn't realize that I was so connected to the source material. I mean, I did a lot of research once I got the role.
Right.
And was like, oh, this is so cool, and Evelyn is an incredible character. But it really was in me. It's hitting me in a deep childhood place.
And last night, at that screening, I hope you stayed. Were you a part of that audience?
Oh, yeah.
That was like being at a WWE live show. The audience
cheers.
They stood like mid-show to give a standing ovation.
It was a great audience. But this movie has incredible fan service. Travis Knight, our director, is a huge fan of He-Man, and you can feel it in the movie. There's so much heart there. There's so much reverence for the source material, and I think fans of the original cartoon will feel that and love that. And I also think people that are new to He-Man will feel the love and the excitement and the sheer power behind it all.
You know, I looked to my right last night and it was a movie critic that probably could care nothing of Masters of the Universe before this. But after Travis's speech, this guy was leaning in, ready for it. I've seen Academy Award-winning filmmakers open their film at film festivals that didn't engage the audience like Travis did last night. Wow. Before the projector even rolled.
I mean, he's very charismatic and he cares so deeply about this film, and you feel it.
What's it like being on set? Is it kind of like Playtime where you look around and there's so much practical going on and everybody's in costume?
100%. We were like human incarnations of the action figures. The characters alone, you know, Hafthor Bjornsson plays Goatman. He was spending 8 hours in prosthetic makeup. You're looking at this literal giant red skin, horns on his head. It was so fun. I mean, it took away the work aspect because you had things to react to. It's not like we're looking at a tennis ball, you know? We got to really see everybody in full regalia, and the sets themselves were also incredible builds.
And sure, layers of CG help, but at the same time, you're literally next to the strongest man in the world.
Definitely. And, you know, Skeletor's throne of bones, Snake Mountain with that huge snake head. It was incredible. We could walk around on all of these things. It was incredibly tactile.
Last night watching it, I thought, this needs to be a theme park.
Definitely. It basically was on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yeah, no kidding. Congratulations. I can't wait for a sequel and another sequel and another sequel. You in?
From your mouth to Amazon's ear.
Hey, from evil sorceress to an amazing bad warrior, Tila, coming up in a moment. We'll continue the half-hour special dedicated to all things Masters of the Universe.
Tila?
Go out there and shoot some bad guys.
Okay.
Sky Sled in the back.
I'm on it. Sky Sled.
Not you.
What?
Definitely not you.
What the?
Okay.
And we're halfway through our half-hour special dedicated to all things Masters of the Universe, Fierce Warrior. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
All right, I'm looking for bruises. You survived it.
They've healed by now. That was a long time ago.
You open up a can of it in every other scene, and I thought there had to be days where she said, hey man, Travis, can't we just CG this part?
No, actually, I feel like I was so the opposite. I wanted to do everything because it's so rare that you get to be in projects like this, and I felt like it was quite literally exercising a new muscle for me, and so I just wanted to throw myself into everything that they would let me do.
With that said, is there a day that you'll remember for the rest of your life? Maybe when the weather changes, a bruise that comes back, or like a bump that you.
I'm sure there were. I'm sure there were bruises along the way. Yeah, when you do stunts, you have to be willing to fall flat on your face and get up and do it again, and it was a very, very humbling experience.
And at the same time, I'm guessing so much of this was practical, a few layers of CG, but you look around and you think, this is my playground for the next few weeks, months.
It's so cool. Yeah, and the sets were built out so beautifully that I feel like half the time I didn't even really need to use much of an imagination because they did such a good job nailing the physical world.
Do you have a favorite scene or a moment where maybe it was a rougher day or maybe even an easier day and you thought, I can't wait to see how this plays?
I loved the scene with me and Adam, Tila, Adam, and Duncan in the prison cell. That scene was really fun because it had a lot of comedy to it and it felt like a really good ensemble scene. And there was a levity to it that I was really excited to see translate on camera.
With you and your character, you bring so much humanity to it. In fact, the writing and all of the characters and all of the performances, such humanity. And I guess we wouldn't care about any of the action or the stake in the games if we didn't care about these people.
Of course, yeah. I think Travis did such a good job of like really crafting beautiful emotional arcs for each character. And they all sort of blend into each other so seamlessly, which I think makes the story land so much harder.
I love your relationship with your dad in this movie. Well played. Every scene is just beautiful. And largely because your character is largely like my daughter.
Aww.
Fierce, and then also aims that towards me a lot of the time. All right, Dad. Just hang back there, Dad. I got this. So
yeah.
I related to that quite a bit.
Yeah, the father-daughter dynamic was really fun to play out with Idris. And I feel like that dynamic is what shaped Tila to be the adult that she is when we find her. Yeah, that was my favorite part of playing Tila.
And is it surreal to know that holidays, birthdays, children are going to be getting some facet of you as gifts? Like looking at on a shelf and there's 1,000 you.
It's crazy. There's so many different iterations of it too, different lines of the toy, different designs, a Barbie, you know, the core line. There's just so many different iterations of me as Tila. It's wild.
Well, it's awesome. Congratulations in advance. I'll see you back here for the second sequel,
Hopefully.
third, fourth, fifth, sixth.
Thank you.
All right, when we continue, we're going to wrap it up. There would be no Masters of the Universe without who? He-Man
And Tila!
And Tila, of course. I should have said Tila first, but He-Man's joining us next. Thanks for hanging out.
Amazing, thank you.
Oh, wow.
Hey, welcome back. We're in the final few moments of our half-hour special dedicated to all things what? Masters of the Universe. And look, there he is. It would be nothing without this guy, He-Man. I mean, come in for a close-up. Look at that. Check out the abs, if you will. Don't be shy. Look at that. I see you. Twins, right? No? All right. Forget about that. Nick is one of the kindest people on the planet. He deserves this role and crushes it in every way. We talked. Take a look.
Go on.
Dude, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How did it feel? I saw you last night and was trying to not be the creepy guy looking to get expressions, but I saw you watching the movie with these fans, and it felt like a live experience, like you were in a WWE show. How did that make you feel?
I mean, to be honest, I'd only ever seen the movie either by myself on a laptop screen at home or you know, in a sort of private screening where the film was very, very early on in the edit. And so seeing it there with people on the huge screen as it's meant to be seen, I mean, the audience reaction, I was blown away.
For months, I've been hearing about the culture on the set and that it was just a great time. And not that a film should ever not be a good time, but sometimes they aren't.
This movie was very special, I have to say. I think, you know, we had a big crew, a big cast. You know, there was about 400 crew. And I don't think I've ever been on a job in my career where I feel like everyone knew each other from top to bottom. You know, I remember that last day we had on set where everyone gathered in the soundstage, and you know, I remember giving a speech and looking out to everyone and just realized that I'd formed so many amazing relationships with so many people. And so it was just a really special project to be a part of for so many different reasons.
It's one thing to carry a movie, but to carry something so iconic, like this isn't just representing cinema, it's representing childhoods of people everywhere that grew up with this. Talk about that.
I mean, it's a huge honor. It's a huge responsibility. You know, I'm so thankful to all the people who afforded me the opportunity. I just truthfully, the way I approach all of my work is I just want to bring something very honest to life. And I read this script and I fell in love with the character. And I don't know if in my career I've ever felt such a desperation to play someone and felt like I understood the person so deeply. And so I just hope people love my portrayal as much as I love playing him.
Indeed, they will. What about this new generation? Like, well, let's start with your generation. What would I find on your shelf or in your toy chest when you were 8?
I mean, I played with a lot of Batman. I was a huge Lord of the Rings fan, so I had a lot of the Lord of the Rings Warhammer and figurines. Yeah. You know, so I mean, I was definitely I had a lot of figurines when I was younger. So the fact that I have myself now, my own iteration, is very surreal.
Yeah, it's one thing when you get it and they show you sort of the makeup, but when you're walking through a store and you see 1,000 of you on a shelf, how does that feel?
It's I couldn't possibly explain to you how strange it is. I mean, even seeing the billboards all over LA is strange enough.
I've seen hosts and presenters interview you and carry in a sword and do silly things. Do you just feel embarrassed for them? You feel sad for them?
No, not at all. I feel. I mean, there is something incredibly empowering about carrying a sword and talking about you know, the power, and so I don't feel sad for them. No.
I happen to have this old thing.
How does it feel?
It's technically a back scratcher, but I brought it in just in case you want to step away from the product with the sequel. I'd like to audition for you. Any notes?
Well, let's see your iteration. Let's see. I mean, yes, you gotta hold it with power. You know, you gotta feel the power within it. Do you feel powerful?
Yeah. By the power of Grayskull, I have the power.
I'm worried for my job now at this point. I think that they might recast me. I mean, hopefully, it's a good thing Travis isn't in the room. But,
I love you saying that, while at the same time I see 600 people in the room rolling their eyes. Cheers, congrats on everything.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank you
for your
very
time.
much, Sam. Lovely to meet you.
Yeah, that was awkward and embarrassing, and probably the best way to end the show. That wraps our half-hour special dedicated to all things Masters of the Universe. Like I always say, see it on the biggest screen possible. Epic action deserves that, and you're going to enjoy it and love it and laugh so much and see it again and again and again and again. Let's see. I guess I'm going to get out of this chair. I'm tired of sitting on the bones. I've not sat on a pile of bones this big since the last time Wingstop had the all-you-can-eat special. Over here at Skeletor, I'm going to turn it back over to you. And you, if you're watching on AFN in 177 different countries and territories worldwide, thank you so much for actually being the true heroes of the world. And then if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. Everywhere else, just thank you so much. You know, I started the show saying I might be a twin with He-Man. We know that's not true. I think I have a lot more in common with Skeletor. In the right light, the right bad light, which is typically what I get. Twins! You know what I'm saying? Peace out.
Mechaneck. And Ram Man.
Hell yeah!
And you, Fisto.
Mr. Allen!
It's Adam, dude.
Hey, put your neck away.
Let me show you what real power looks like.
Our time for talk is over.
Can you come help me with this?
It is quite heavy, so if you could just...
Oh my god, yeah.